More breaking news now. In a local murder trial, jurors have reached a verdict in the case of Christopher James, the man accused of stabbing his estranged wife to death on a RIPTA bus.
The verdict came down within the last hour. Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pleiner joins us now live outside of court in Newport with the breaking details.
Mike Shannon, good evening. Well, Christopher James and his defense team ultimately heard what they had tried to battle against in the course of this trial, and that is a verdict of guilty of murder in the first degree. This for the 2013 stabbing death of his ex-wife, 46-year-old Terry Chito, aboard a RIPTA bus in Portsmouth. Jurors deliberated for essentially the full workday before reaching their verdict within the past hour. As you say, Eyewitness News was in the courtroom. Here is the reading of that verdict.
And Christopher James committed the crime of first-degree murder. How do you find the defendant?
The defense had argued James was suffering from PTSD and other mental conditions when he stabbed Chito in front of other riders on February the 27th, 2013, with a 7-inch kitchen knife he had boarded with in Providence. The defense tried to push jurors in the direction of manslaughter, which carries a maximum of 30 years, arguing that James was not of sound mind to premeditate a murder, and the jury obviously disagreed. Now, the motive the state had presented through the course of this trial was that James had wanted to reconcile with his ex-wife, and Chito was not willing to do that. So he threatened her via text message the night before, and he boarded that bus in Kennedy Plaza and made his way all the way down to Portsmouth, where she boarded. Now, the anticipated sentence is really anticipated because the judge does not have leeway here. It is life imprisonment with parole eligibility coming up before the parole board after 20 years. But again, that is on a life sentence. Coming up new at 6 o'clock, we'll have much more on what happened not too long ago here at Newport Superior Court. But live in Newport with the East Bay Mobile Newsroom, I'm Jared Pleiner, Eyewitness News.
Now, breaking news that we first brought you on Eyewitness News live at 5. After a day of deliberations, the jury has reached a verdict in the trial of a man accused of murdering his ex-wife. Christopher James is accused of stabbing Terry Chito on a RIPTA bus in Portsmouth. Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pleiner joins us now live outside Newport Superior Court.
Mike, Terry Chito's family and attorneys on both sides were not waiting to hear about Christopher James's guilt. They were waiting to hear about Christopher James's level of responsibility and how much time he might spend behind bars. The jurors went for the maximum. Christopher James guilty of murder in the first degree for stabbing his ex-wife, 46-year-old Terry Chito, to death 3 years ago aboard a RIPTA bus in Portsmouth. Jurors deliberated for a full workday before reaching their verdict around 4 o'clock.
And Christopher James committed the crime of first-degree murder. How do you find the defendant?
Two men on that bus 3 Februaries ago held Christopher James down after he stabbed Chito with the 7-inch blade of a large kitchen knife. Other riders, total strangers, came to Chito's aid as she sat with a wound to her chest. The defense argued James was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder at the time, stemming from childhood abuse. The defense tried to push jurors in the direction of manslaughter, arguing James was not of sound mind to premeditate a murder. The state laid out its narrative that James wanted to reconcile with his ex-wife. She rejected that. He texted her the night before that bus ride, quote, "Consider yourself dead." And Christopher James carried out his plan. Sentencing is set for April the 20th in Providence. And the state's expert found that Christopher James was not suffering from any major mental disorder. We tried to speak with Terry Chito's family outside court, but they declined the anticipated sentence, and the judge does not have much leeway on this as life imprisonment with the possibility for parole after 20 years. I'm Jared Pleiner with the Mobile Newsroom tonight.